안녕하세요. 저는 클라우디입니다. For those of you wishing and hoping I would output some Korean, I hope you're happy, because that's all you're going to get. It's me, Cloudy, your favorite Korean learning immersion person guy on YouTube. I don't know how that goes anymore. It's been a long time, and I have been mostly busy for the most part. Recently, very busy, but I thought it was time to give a little bit of an update on the channel, and just an update. It's not really a channel update, it's a me update, because I'm not committing to anything about the state of the channel or whatever. Anyway, it's been a long time, and I am in a new location. I moved about 50 miles south to a different town, living with my brother and some roommates, and I'm much happier here. This is a better living situation. The last place I was living in was a little rough. It was inexpensive. It was real cheap. It was a nice place to just save money and not spend too much. But it was dusty, cold, broken, and uncomfortable. Anyway, I'm much closer to a lot of stuff now. And so when I last uploaded a video, I said, hey, I'm taking a break. I'm going to go learn how to program. I said I was going to start a channel that was dedicated to telling you about that. I uploaded one video and then I stopped. I didn't do anything else. And I don't know. I completely lost interest in the idea as soon as I started. At the time, I just wanted to focus on programming. I didn't really think I wanted to make videos about it. So I started the Odin project and I worked on that. And it's been, since then, I've had times where I've worked on it for a few months, times where I took a break and did some other things. And I've been consistent with it though. I've been continuing to move and do more programming, progress through all of that. I learned all of my CSS basics, all my JavaScript and programming fundamentals. I guess I don't want to say all of it, but I feel pretty confident about my fundamental understanding. I learned how to program essentially, and I learned React, the basics of React. I learned TypeScript, which is, for those of you not familiar, it's like taking regular JavaScript that you may have heard of and like for web development things, and it adds a layer of kind of safety that just checks things and makes sure that what you're sending is the right type of thing. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with the details. That was for me to get bored of. Now, it's actually pretty interesting if you like that kind of stuff. But I'm going to kind of gloss over a lot of that. I'm moving now into database stuff and trying to get into full stack development. At the end of last year, I guess it was towards the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter. I can't remember exactly when it was. I went to React Rally, which was a developer meetup in Salt Lake City. And it was really cool to go in and be surrounded by people who are smarter than me, more experienced than me, and have been doing programming longer than me. Of course, not all of them. Some people were there, a little bit who hadn't been doing it for very long, but everybody was cool. I found it really easy to get along with people, and it was a lot of fun. And that got me thinking, I want to move down closer to this area so I can regularly go to things like these meetups, because in addition to something like React Rally, which is like a big conference, there are basically weekly meetups in various places: Salt Lake, Sandy, Lehi. These are places aren't going to mean anything to you who don't know Utah cities. They're clustered all down around here. And I'm living kind of in the middle of all of them now, in between all of them. And I got the idea that it would be fun to move down here. The opportunity came up to move in with my brother. So I jumped right on it. I thought that was really cool. And on January 1st, I moved all my stuff. And I've been here since then. It's now, March 15th? But it's been really cool. I've been super busy since I moved. I've been trying to get things in order, get my life in order, set up, and set myself up for success. And do a lot of chores and errands and get things set up. I bought a car. I had been kind of, for a year around, I think it was about a year, I was just riding an e-bike. It was a couple of miles to work. So it was really nice. But down here, it's not really feasible anymore. My current work is much farther than that. And 22 degrees in the dark with like wet knees after work, riding for 8 miles in the ice and snow. I did it, and I pretended that I was fine with it. I put on an outward appearance like, oh yeah, I just do what I have to do, which I guess is true. But on the inside, I was like, God, I don't want to do this anymore. But it was enough to motivate me to go out and buy a car. So now I am comfy, a little too comfortable, having a heater and sitting in a comfortable vehicle, riding to work. That's definitely a luxury. One of the reasons why I got excited to learn Korean again is because something happened to me towards the end of last year as well. And that was that I finally realized or learned what exactly was making me sick. I had been sick for a very long time. And I didn't even understand the length to which I was sick. It was just something that I had dealt with to varying degrees, 15 years or so. Could be even a little bit longer depending on like how I count it, but it's so hard for me to understand exactly, what was going on back then. But basically, I'm not going to bore you with the details or gross you out for that matter. But I'm also not a doctor, and I'm not going to pretend like I know what is your issue. So please, if you I'm not like, if I share a little bit about this and you feel like it is close to something that you are experiencing or whatever, I don't have answers for you. If you have questions, I'm sure there are people who are better qualified. I can kind of point you to, towards some things to look up to see if that's like what you need to look into. But I'm not a health expert, and I can't and won't answer your health questions about it. So just so we got that out of the way, I learned that I had been suffering from SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And essentially, it's really uncomfortable. It's like really soon after eating, there's just a lot of stress going on and a lot of chaos. And one of the things that it affects is like the immune system, the ability to digest things properly, and which in turn affects things like nutrition and sleep. Some kind of downstream health effects that just kind of compound. Makes it really hard to recover from things. It really messed with my hormone levels and my overall health, and I had been slowly restricting my diet over the years and trying different things, and nothing worked. It was a real mess. But I finally learned that that was a possibility. I looked into it, and I actually got a device that was supposed to measure the hydrogen and methane in my gastric system, just like a little little breath item thing that you breathe into. And according to the results, it was like crazy levels right after I was eating, and that was indicating that the suspicion was correct, that it was SIBO. It turns out there's a really easy fix for it. One of the things is a little bit of a change in diet, low fermentation diet. It's something that, again, I'm not a dietitian. It's just cutting out foods that are hard to digest. And you can look up low fermentation diet online. You'll find, resources that kind of point you in the right direction. It's really easy. It's not very restrictive. You just kind of cut some of the things out, like whole wheats and like whole grains and lactose. Some of these things that are harder to digest. And this is actually kind of a temporary thing that helps some people. I don't know. Some people like me kind of move past this. The other part, which was crucial, was this supplement. It was a ginger artichoke supplement. It's used to increase motility, which means it gets your digestion going properly. Not like anything gross, but just working correctly. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about the health stuff, because it's, I'm saying it because there's a chance that somebody out there might have been experiencing the kind of suffering that I went through. And I would be remiss if I completely avoided telling people about it, because I know some people listen to this. Some people out there are watching. Hello. Good to see you. And it was totally life-changing. Overnight, I felt an immediate, enormous relief. The swelling in my whole body went down. I lost like 12 pounds in a matter of days. Just from the swelling, inflammation, water retention, and then continued to lose a few more pounds after that. I've since gained it back on because I've been eating a lot of stuff that I hadn't eaten in 10 years. I started eating donuts, which was like the one thing that I missed. I work at a grocery store, so the bakery is right there. And anyway, it was just incredible, and it gave me a new lease on life, and I wanted to just enjoy things for a while, have fun, and just relax, work out, and recover well, and just enjoy things. But finishing out the year and everything, I knew I wanted to set myself up for success. So I wanted to move down here, get set up, get back into programming, and go to all of these meetups to do all of that. Once I kind of got in the groove, I wanted to get back into language learning. I decided that it was something that I had missed for a long time, and it's not that I regret stopping, but it's just I couldn't stay away from it for too long. Yeah, hold on. Hey. Okay. Had to deal with my brother's dog. What was I even talking about? Oh, yeah. Getting back into language learning. I wanted to jump back in, and it was a little bit awkward at first. I think for the first day, I felt like I couldn't understand much. I got a little worried because it had been nearly cold turkey that I just stopped doing any kind of immersion, any kind of language learning, no flashcards or anything. I had a few days here and there over the past year and a half where I was kind of doing a little something, but it was nothing major. And I just jumped in. And after the first day, everything, my ear kind of came back a little bit. It was a little bit like riding a bike. and I started making some flashcards. I started immersing more, and it's been now a couple of weeks, and I've been pretty consistent. Been doing it every day. The other thing that I did is, if that wasn't enough, I thought it would be just fun to kind of goof around and do a little bit of Japanese learning again. As something that is not serious, I'm totally not going to keep learning this. I mean, if I do, it is what it is, but I have no intention of actually doing it long term. I just thought it would be fun to learn a little Japanese while the Migaku parser for Korean is still working, working on getting an update. I've heard from the people involved that they are working on it and that it's getting pretty close. So that's exciting news for a lot of us who have been using the Migaku tool set. The other thing that I got back into was checking out the Kimchi Reader, which was made by somebody who was a member of the Refold community who's in the servers. And he started working on a tool that was made just for Korean. And all of the features that he's been building on it, first, when it first came out, I could tell, like, okay, this is going to be cool. It was pretty bare bones, but he's been putting in the work. And right now, it is the best way to read a book or read text with a dictionary, because you can load in your own text, you can load in your own EPUB books, and the parser is pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's going to get it right a lot of the time, and it also tracks your words. And the great thing is it works on mobile, so I finally have a way to comfortably read books on mobile, which is something that I've always struggled with. I would have loved to do that this whole time, basically. I don't think I would have stopped learning if I could just easily pick up my tablet or my phone and just read with the dictionary and be able to make cards at the same time, but then also have the dictionary work properly. That's like a lot to ask together. Anyway, it's I just started using that, like, barely, and I recommend anybody who is interested to go check it out. I think there's a free trial. I'm not, he's not sponsoring me to say that. I'm literally just using it, and I think it's great. So there's a lot of exciting stuff for these different tool sets coming out, and it's really exciting to be a Korean learner right now, I think. So I'm going to get back into reading these books. I have a lot of books that I don't like sitting on my computer to read a book. So I prefer to, like, sit on a couch, or I don't know, in a chair somewhere, maybe on a bench outside. And I'm really looking forward to continuing to do that. What else? Yeah, I don't have any idea what things are going to look like for me in the future for learning Korean. I'm just taking it a day at a time. I'm going to try to focus mainly on programming because my job has been going pretty good. I transferred to a different store when I moved down here, and I got a job in the meat department, and that's going really well. I'm going to be training to be the assistant manager. So it came with a raise when I started, getting another raise, and that's a really big help for me personally while I keep grinding at the programming. But yeah, I just thought I would kind of touch base with everyone. I'm trying not to make this too long. It's already too long. I know I have a bad habit of doing that. Maybe it'll be shorter next time. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to make any promises about when the next video will come out or what it'll be about, but I hope you guys are having a good time immersing, and I hope your lives are going well, and I hope things are good. And that's going to be it from me. I'll catch you next time.